Well, aren't we just a breath of fresh air today? We are. Oh, I need to move that up. It keeps messing with the volume. When is my sound needs to be up? Beautiful Friday. Debating whether or not I'm gonna go outside. I've been inside all week. The weather hasn't really permitted being outside, but every time I go out there, I remember why I keep my sacred ass in the house. You ever feel like you just look so good? It's like I just need to stay still in the house where I'm at. So as I'm deciding, okay, I'm gonna go live today. Let me get dressed. Let me do these things. Maintenance comes by, okay? And the thing about the young man who's in maintenance is that he and I previously had a moment. I don't romanticize it. I don't make much of it. But I do like how the universe worked in my favor and how when he came, I was freshly dressed. Went to the door just like this. He had to definitely give me a scan. Good afternoon. Oh, it was still morning. Good morning. How are you? Oh, oh, you need to fix something? Something that I've been telling you about that now I had to go to the property manager about, and now you're here to fix that. Well, hello and happy Friday. And I was dangling too. I was dangling too, honey, because I was like, he in here. Karshina, I see you. I'm going to reply to you. I see you sent me a message. I'm going to reply to your message, sweetheart. Been taking some days off. Hello to you too. I've been taking some days off just recharging. But I'm like, yeah, as soon as I decide on Friday, I'm going to go ahead and connect with the ladies. Here comes maintenance coming on in. You know, I think you said something about Tuesday. We can definitely do Tuesday or Monday. And the interesting thing that I've learned in life is when you detach from an outcome, you really allow it to have the highest possible outcome. We can ask for something, we can plant seeds, we can want something. But when we also attach an outcome to it, sometimes we're thinking too small. Sometimes we think we just want a promotion. No, actually, you need to become a vice president at another company, right? So sometimes we think too small. And so what I have learned is that when we detach from outcomes, at least in my life, things happen a lot more quickly when I detach from that outcome. I notice that things happen a lot more quickly in my life. And the art of detachment, or maybe it's the art of surrendering to Goddess, to the higher power, right? Faith in a way that is not religious, but in a way that has to do with self-awareness, okay? And no longer having anxiety about the future or about the seeds that I plant, because it's inevitable for the highest possible outcome. And I say all of that because many of us have spiritual gifts, spiritual notions, dreams, activations, spiritual nudges that we ignore, okay? We ask to be closer to our gifts. We ask for signs. We ask to be guided. And when those signs come, or when those omens show up, we don't pay attention to them. We say, is that a coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence. It's not. It's not a coincidence that what you thought about happened. Um, or sometimes it happens really fast, right? You're somewhere, you're thinking about something, you think about a certain person, they come in. You think about a certain song, it comes on, right? And those are the little conscious nudges from the universe to let you know, yeah, you're powerful. Yeah, every one of your thoughts is like a prayer. Yes, everything is pinging off of each other. But when it comes to bigger commands or bigger manifestations, if you will, we tend to forget those small times that we did see our magic work. We did see indeed that, okay, you know, I I did get a little nudge that what I was thinking was right. And it's like once you realize that you are a co-conspirator, if you will, in your creation, the creation which is you, you'll form your mind differently. You'll form your habits differently. You'll form your rituals and your intentions differently. And so I speak about having spiritual gifts and not using them because our girl Layla in the book Journey into Layla also has spiritual gifts that she has to be reminded of. The women around her have to encourage her. The women around her have to promote her using her gifts, her discernment, especially her dark side. And a lot of women, I think especially, and they're getting away from it, but are afraid of their dark side, right? It's because they haven't really been taught how to work through their shadow, how to experience their shadow, how to integrate their shadow. And so they run from their shadow themselves. They still are in the arena of what's good and what's bad versus what's necessary and unnecessary. So, yeah, part of that discernment, your intuition, all of that is also for your protection. As a woman, your intuition and your spiritual gifts are to be used for your spiritual protection. I do not victim blame ever. However, there are women who unfortunately became victims who said, I had a feeling against going there, or something nudged me not to do that, or my car broke down, or something very apparent that it was a misalignment happened. And we like to force things, right? And it ended up going a way you didn't want to go. So your intuition, your discernment, it's always working in your favor. um I don't feel like anyone is going to swoop down and save you. I don't feel like any deity comes and swoops down and save you. Maybe in very, very crucial instances. But when it comes to the everyday, day to day, it's really about you learning to interpret spiritual signs and omens, because spirit is always communicating with you and they will not always yell. You understand deities and you understand how many people are calling on them and how many people are putting in petitions as well. Who's leaving offerings? Who is actually getting their prayers answered right? Nonetheless, with that, you can have some spirits that are riding with you. Your spirit guides, it's like we tight. They always with me. I know my spirits that's always with me. And I know some more powerful spirits that I know there are certain things I need to do to invoke them. Nonetheless, spirit is always communicating with you. And sometimes it's not always going to be these bold, big. Let me open this up. It's not going to be this big, bold display. Sometimes it's going to be up to you to interpret. Sometimes it's going to be up to you to do some meditation, to go into your subconscious mind. Sometimes it's going to be up to you to do some journaling. Sometimes it's going to be up to you to pull some cards. You know, you still got to do the work, but you acknowledging the common thread in your life and acknowledging it long term. I know that people enjoy and want instant gratification from everything. Okay. So they cannot fathom a season of actually, hey, Megan, thank you. They cannot fathom a season of actually doing some really hard hitting, heavy work that includes self improvement. So it's like, oh shit, this is too hard. Let me just go back to religion. Or I saw a video yesterday that was showing, if you've seen the movie Boys in the Hood, it showed Trey when he was in a car with Dope Boy and the rest of them at the end when they were going to get retaliation. And he was like, hey, yo, Doe, let me out. Let me out the car. And they compared it to people who come on this spiritual path or come on a spiritual path, and that shadow comes, that trauma comes, the work that comes with it. It's not always beautiful. It's not always easy. It's messy. It's exciting. It's sacred, right? Nothing sacred is perfect. It's imperfect. It's perfectly imperfect, right? So they say, let me go back to the path of less resistance. Let me go back to what's familiar. Okay. Hey, Joy. Let me go back to what's familiar. So the idea of spirituality being a common thread in someone's life is something people cannot fathom because they want to be spoon fed. A large part of spirituality is self accountability, self awareness, self worship, self devotion. So all of these things start with self. And so when you have been on a spiritual path, maybe for a year, there's a certain enlightenment level you get, but then you continue on that path. And then within 5 years, you're like, oh, so this is the next level. Oh, and you see that you've gone through plenty of rebirths. You go through rebirth after rebirth, level up, because the universe is abundant, never ending. There is no limit. There is no really ceiling when it comes to your enlightenment, right? And so, yeah, no limit. There is no really ceiling when it comes to your enlightenment, right? And so, yeah. Back, as I said, today one is now proven to be so busy. It's been quiet for me all week. I've been recharging, and now today is when a lot of energy is coming forth. Nonetheless, like I said, having it as a common theme in your life constantly, spirituality here. It's like when you go through those different levels and then you see, okay, this is a long-term commitment. This is a long-term relationship. It is a long-term commitment. And that is why I have worked with some clients for years. Yeah, it'll be months where we don't talk. They're integrating the work. They're doing the work. They're living their lives. Come in. Maybe it's unlocked. Maybe it's locked. Hold on. Is it unlocked? Hi. Yeah, go ahead. You can go in there. It's in the master bedroom. Okay, thank you so much. You're welcome. How are you today? I'm doing well. How are you? Good. Thank you. Okay, no problem. Okay, appreciate it. So, I related to my literature because Layla in this book has spiritual gifts that are apparent that she ignores, that she has to be reminded of. The women around her have to constantly remind her. But everyone doesn't have that luxury. Everyone doesn't have people around them to constantly tell them, no, you should believe in yourself. No, you should listen to your dreams. No, you should journal about your experiences. No, you should understand that you are a co-creator in your existence, right? We don't always have those cheerleaders. And so I know that it's hard to remain your own cheerleader. I know that it's hard to um, maintain that momentum when it comes to the spiritual work you're doing, when you're not seeing a lot of tangible results. All of the work is happening on the inside, right? Okay, wow, I feel a lot of tangible results. All of the work is happening on the inside, right? Okay, wow, I feel like I healed from that trauma. Okay, wow, I'm sleeping better now. Okay, wow, my skin is getting clearer because my nervous system is more regulated. Oh, wow, I have a better relationship with my womb. Oh, wow, I've healed that dynamic between me and my mother, me and my father, me and my sister. Oh, wow, I'm feeling lighter. You know, I didn't even know that I needed this healing, but it's here. So, yeah, it's subtle, but you have to understand all of the things that we do daily that work against us, okay? Being overstimulated from these screens, from the media. I just heard today about some pollutant that's in the air down south that they're asking people to stay inside, which I don't think is a coincidence, right? Every other month, there is some type of psychological tactic used to cause anxiety, okay? And while you're dealing with things on the outside world, right, what we live in, and then your inside world. Oh, yes, baby, I know that it's a struggle. I know that it's hard. I know sometimes you sit here and you think, what is the point? What am I doing this for? But without the days that you question it, without the days that make you feel like giving up, without the days when you are deep in the dumps, you would not be able to feel the joy and the bliss from the days when you know you are kicking ass and you are seeing tangible results from the work that you have been doing. Okay? If you know that sometimes a spell can last for years or generations, sometimes it takes that long to build up. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hand heart. I love it. Sometimes it takes that long for it to build up as well. Okay? So sometimes I look back at seeds that I planted 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and I'm like, oh, now that is manifesting. I go look in my books, my journals, where I wrote down the nudges I got, where I wrote down the messages from spirit, where I wrote down those readings, those cards that I pulled. That's why I say women should keep a journal, because it is your spiritual journey. You are on a spiritual journey and you need to keep record of it somehow. Now, I kept record of some of my spiritual journey in Journey into Layla, this book, which is based on true events. Okay. And some of my ladies have been reading it, and I'm grateful to you. Okay, we talked about the first couple of chapters, but now as you're getting deeper into the medicine and into the book, I want you to enjoy it. Okay, take it in. But this is something for the long haul. You know, I have never been a spiritualist that has let someone know, like, oh, or made someone think like, oh yeah, you come work with me one time and everything's going to be good. I'm gonna help make it better, but ultimately it's a journey. It's not a destination, it's a journey. It can't be like, oh yeah, I did this and I got to this level and now I'm done. No, the only thing constant is change. Because as soon as you get comfortable on one level, you're going to be forced to level up again. If you really have a strong connection with your root, with your bloodline, with your ancestors, with spirit guides who really usher you into greatness, I promise you, you are one of them people. Every time you get comfortable somewhere, they start making you uncomfortable. Okay? They start making you uncomfortable because it's time for that next level up. Now, very important when Layla met Pierre's mother. Okay? First of all, how often is it that you are dealing with a toxic man who looks good on paper and his mother intervenes basically to tell you or to ask you, oh, why is you here? Why are you here? And not in a way to intimidate you, but to tell you, I see something in you that you may not see in yourself. And he's still my son, but why are you dealing with my son? Now, if a woman, let me say to you, a lot of women who know that their sons are problematic, they will not have a frank conversation with you like that. But they will say things to you, little colloquialisms. They will give you little pieces of wisdom to let you know. Like when you go over and they say things like, oh, child, my son is a piece of work. To me, that means I'm the fourth woman over here this week. Okay? Oh, watch out for my son. Now, they have things that they say to you. Okay? This is a book. It's based on true events. And I will say, Layla, or the woman who Layla was inspired by, who the character Layla was inspired by, indeed did have a conversation with this toxic man's mother. It was that imperative, though. This is how important these messages were that were coming to her. Her spirit team was working overtime. We're giving you messages through songs. We're having you run into people randomly. We having you drive into situations and you look. Because if you saw that, Megan, and you also saw the Buffalo Wild Wings parking lot situation as well. So, again, if we have spiritual gifts, if we ask for signs, if when we're on our own, in the throes and the privacy of our room, and we're asking and praying, asking for signs, asking to be more powerful, asking to not be led down a dark alley anymore. Why, when these signs come, do we deny ourselves? That's what Layla kept doing. Just because you don't like the message doesn't mean it's not real. Sometimes you have suppressed things on your own that prevents you from seeing the truth. So the spell that you cast by even asking to be able to see allows you to open your mind, your heart, and your eyes up to see things. And you may not always like what you see. You may not always like the adjustments that you are forced to make as a result of this new information that you have received. You have to learn to trust yourself more. Okay? The signs are always there. Signs are in something as simple as the way the wind blows, when it blows, based on what you say. If I'm somewhere and I'm talking and then something drops, me and my sister, hey, Tremonti, me and my sister talking and something drops, I say confirmation. Or a certain song comes on, confirmation. When you acknowledge that spirit is communicating with you, spirit will communicate more. Okay? That horn honking, confirmation. Yeah, all of it. And mhm. Yeah. I think we make it harder, but really it's simpler. It's really about being quiet and listening. Our grandparents knew something when they sat on that porch all day, sipped their lemonade, and observed. Do you know how many downloads that you get just sitting there? Just even when you're able to just sit in your neighborhood on the day you have off work and just look around you at things, how people move. They're not, especially if they're going to work, they're not paying attention to who's looking at them. Just look at how they move. That's where your power is. Again, especially as a woman, it's never in doing more. It's always in doing less. It's always in rest and recharging. Our creation cycle is about 75% recharging, resetting, getting downloads, and then 25% action. Okay? If I was to put it into a week's time, all right? If a woman is in a creation phase, like Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday is really cultivation, studying, resting, listening to her body, especially if she has to perform for that weekend. Okay? She's performing Friday through Sunday. Performing meaning showing up for her community, showing up for her family, actually performing whatever it is she has to do. Now, the average woman is working Monday through Friday, over functioning, and then on the weekend she has to show up as well, especially if she has children, right? Especially if she has a household that she's tending to. So there's over functioning happening, and it doesn't give her an opportunity to connect with herself the way that she needs to, and it doesn't give her an opportunity to sit still and to acknowledge her gifts and to give thanks for them. So most of the time when I meet with a woman and she tells me she is overwhelmed, her schedule does not give her the opportunity to connect with herself. I'm like, what we're going to walk away with is a built-in regimen where you're going to have this amount of time each day or every other day. You're going to put that into your schedule for you to have consistency even in your mind. Because what happens is when you create a habit around relaxation, around recharging, if you say, look, Sunday is my self-care day, Tuesday night, I'd go to the spa, Thursday, I take my bath, this is what I do, your mind starts anticipating that. You start getting ready for that. You start looking forward to that. So now, instead of your mind anticipating stress, instead of your nervous system being on guard, anticipating stress, now we're anticipating the relaxation. This is how you rewire in real time, okay? It's not about doing more, it's about doing less. The only thing you need to do more of is take control of your schedule and your time. Stop being pushed around by life, okay? Letting life decide what you want to do. No, you get up every day and own that day. Every day. It's not like, oh, let me own the week. I told y'all about me owning my week every Sunday, deciding what I'm going to do that week. I said this Sunday that I'm going to recharge. This Sunday, I said this is a week to recharge. I'm going to recharge. Okay, I'm going to get a lot of rest. I'm going to do a scalp massage, a psychic head wash. These are all the things I said I'm going to do this week. I knew this was not going to be a loaded week for me. But every day, I had to command and own that day as well. So I could be like, because if I don't, then I'm just going to allow it to happen to me. I'll just sit back and being upset, oh, all of these things are happening. No, I have a very active role. I am a co-creator in my existence. There are things outside of our control. We live in an ecosystem, a large one. I get that. However, like I said, I'm a co-creator. I do not take a back seat. There is a level of surrender and a level of action. And to find your balance as a woman, as a goddess, you have to give yourself the time to sit and be still and do nothing. Okay? And for women who are over functioning, that feels uncomfortable at first. You will be fidgety. You will be on your phone. You will be. I've sat with women during their first session who are doing absolutely nothing, and they find themselves so fidgety. They, this is why I need my anxiety medication, and I'm not a doctor, but I'm like, listen, maybe it's not. Maybe you just need to sit here and drink that cucumber water. Just sit your ass down. Maybe you don't need to go outside and listen to the loud music and see all the flashing lights and drink a lot of liquor. Maybe after a week of stress, maybe all you need to do is put yourself back in calibration, recalibrate. Maybe after a week of stress, you don't need to unwind by going out and being more stimulated. It's just a thought, okay? And because I have worked with a lot of women who do overfunction and who relax by doing more functioning and then are surprised with the burnout. I live in an area where Cinco de Mayo happened. This is a residential, quiet area, and because so many people decided to come outside, African Americans, on Cinco de Mayo, I get it, but there ended up being a stabbing. There ended up being some more violence that happened. People who aren't from this area. But I said, thank you, darling. But I said, if you all would be okay with sitting your ass down. It was a Tuesday. The problem is, too many people are not regulated enough. They cannot sit down. And that's why they always have to be on the go to distract them from the things that they need to be trying to regulate. And they want to go to the after party and the after party. Okay? Some people cannot be alone. They cannot be alone. This is not something I'm making up. There are people who cannot be alone. That's why they're always in relationships. And even if they're not in relationships, they're in situationships. Okay? And then if the girl, if she's not dealing with a man and she's dealing with a woman, but somebody is there always. I have someone in my family. I will not disclose who they are, but I have someone in my family who has a lot of memories that will flood them because they know that they did something or orchestrated something that went against the bloodline. Okay? Me and this person don't have contact. They have chosen to not have contact with me because I'm a priestess and because I can see. I know that the alliances that they made with those dark spirits does not allow them to be around me and all of those that I've put under my protection as the matriarch of my bloodline. My point is, hey, Tasia, or Tasia's gal. Okay, done. Thank you so much. Do I need to have the windows open? Huh? Do I need the windows open or anything? It's a little bit stinky. Okay. Yeah, it's not very too much. Thank you so much, darling. You have a great weekend. Okay. It's a little bit smell. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. You have a good weekend, darling. Happy Mother's Day, okay? Thank you. So, as I was saying, a priestess is usually initiated. Yeah, a priestess is usually initiated into a certain, I don't want to say religion, but it can be a religion, but a priestess is usually initiated. But as I was saying, you know, the maintenance person totally threw me off. The person in my family that, you know, decided to go against the bloodline, if you will. I believe that thought was taken out of my mind. Sometimes your ancestors make you forget things. They do. But yeah, those of us with spiritual gifts, um, we have to use them because they were given to us for a reason. And sometimes they were given to us as an extension to also be to help our family too. A lot of women on the planet right now are the reborn goddesses of their bloodline, uh, the physical manifestation of the prayers, the intentions of the women who had to suppress their feelings, their magic, because of the world we lived in, because of patriarchy, and because now we are in an arena where a woman can be open and proud about who she is. Like I said, they are screaming from the other side, urging us to um, embrace our magic, embrace our gifts, and use them to our advantage. Use them in a system that was created to keep women submissive, to keep women psychologically, emotionally, spiritually burdened. No, unburden yourself, because you have the magic to do so. Um, you saying your brother calls you a witch, that's always a compliment to me, because a witch is a woman who heals herself first, but then she also then heals her community. um, a witch learns by healing herself. She learns through the healing that she does. That's how she learns what her magic is. She learns what her magic is by healing herself, and then she extends that magic to others. An authentic witch does. An authentic witch, an authentic practitioner only does work that they know that they can do. I work with women and I heal women with herbs and flowers and candles and yoni steams because I healed myself with said rituals and said items. I always have my candles lit. Okay? My ocean candle is lit right there. I always have my candles lit. Okay, I'm always doing my yoni steams. If you're dealing with a mother who believes church is the only way and tell you spirituality is wrong, I mean, most of them feel that way because they are indoctrinated in patriarchy, and patriarchy is not only romantic, it is religious. Okay? Thank you, True Too. Um, and so yummy. What happens is when you see God as a man and you're constantly referring to God as he, that too makes you as a woman take a back seat to who you are and what your power is. Religion, especially male dominated religion, is one of the strongest tools of patriarchy. It's what keeps the stronghold there. A lot of women cannot fathom seeing femininity in divinity. Um, seeing feminine, and creator is gender neutral, right? So when we're constantly saying he, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, all of these things, I have to go deep into deconstructing religion because I'm so far removed from it, right? Um, that it doesn't surprise me that a lot of mothers are the ones who gave their daughters the shadow that made them follow this path in the first place. Okay? But little do you know, it's all a part of the divine plan. You not having the shadow you would have never connected with Dark Mother Goddess. You would have still been afraid of the dark. Some people at their grown age are still afraid of the dark. Okay? Thank you, Tula. They are still afraid of the dark, literally and figuratively. Okay? They cannot sleep with the lights off, and they are scared of their dark side. Embrace your dark side. You know, I'm not telling you to go out and do crazy things. I'm telling you that you should know your dark side. You're welcome. You should know your dark side very well. Y'all should be very intimate. I have another offering that'll be available for you all in probably the next couple of weeks. That is for the dark feminine energy. And it is for women to more deeply explore their own dark feminine energy, because dark feminine energy is powerful. It is where the power is. Okay? The dark mother is both nurturing and punishing. Okay? She is beautiful and cruel. Follow this page. Again, it's a lifelong thing. But dark femme energy is your shadow. It's not love and light. It's logic. It's facts. It's seeing your emotions as power and currency. But the biggest part of dark feminine energy is understanding your sovereignty. And thank you, Yaya. Is understanding your sovereignty as a woman, understanding the levels that we as goddesses go through as it relates to getting to the dark femme goddess, right? Which is first the awakening, which deals with our shadow. Understanding the bloodline connections that we have, understanding the traumas that are suppressed, all of the messiness, this 3 to 6 month phase. Everyone wants to skip the shadow part. A lot of people want to skip it. It's not fun. It's messy. You deal with ancestral grime. Your patterns, your habits come up that you need to let go of. All of those things, right? And then, thank you, Tula. And then after that is reclamation. Womb consciousness. I don't think I've heard of her. Probably seen her though. Second part is the reclamation phase. And the reclamation is the womb awakening, is feeling sensual in your body again, is flirting with life again, is starting to notice that people notice you, but it's after you've already built yourself up. External validation doesn't even hit the same because you're like, wow, I'm my own source, you know. That's cool, but it used to be when external validation came, that made you swoon, right? Like, oh my God, they noticed me. Now you're like, of course you noticed me, but okay, now it has to be backed by some intention. And then after that is the bombshell phase, embodiment, totally being, totally embodying goddess, magnetism, confidence, strong boundaries. But as I said, it takes shedding to get there. It takes shedding to build a bombshell up, okay? I would say, honestly, me becoming a bombshell, really, it was like a 10-year process from 2016 to now. And the only real person we meet in the shadow is ourselves. Yes, because everything and everyone else is mirrors. I suggest too, if you have not gotten my book, Journey into Layla, as Megan Up to No Good in the comments will tell you, this book is a novel. It's a story, but it's about a young woman becoming. And part of it is her shadow work. Now, Megan, wait till you get to that chapter called Bloodline. Okay, you already on probably chapter 15 or 16 now, because you are at the part where she meets with Pierre's mother. Chapter 19 is Bloodline, okay? And so this book here is available at serenalux.com. That's my site. It's in my bio, on my profile. But, you know, my messaging, my wisdom, my life, the things that I know are from lived experiences, but also from experiences of working with women. And Layla is a culmination of my experiences and experiences of women during a very tender part of her life, right? Thank you, Meg. So I think that, we have to get back to being who we really are as women, which is scholars, which is deep thinkers, which are deep feelers, mystics, okay, herbalists. We are not beings to be reduced just to our beauty or just to the way our bodies look, or what kind of surgeries we can get or what kind of bags we can carry, which is what we have been presented with. Okay, now, as I will always say, sacred beauty is one of your powers. I do not undermine a woman's desire to look beautiful. Put on your makeup, get your nails done, get your hair done. I got it all done. I got my nails done, I got on my makeup, okay? But that is surface level. Women have to reclaim who we are. We have to get back into reading our books. We have to get back into writing our books. We have to get back into studying our herbs. We have to get back into studying our bodies, studying the moon cycles, studying the stars, and not just doing it for profit. Doing it because it is what's needed as a part of the fabric of feminine consciousness. Our consciousness has been really hijacked and downgraded with a lot of gunk, negativity, low self-esteem, just low vibrational things. We should be getting degreed in self-work. Yes, self-curriculum. You are so right, Megan. But this is really what the download is. It's like when I really look back at the old ways and when I look at the way we would sit around and read with each other. We had book clubs, right? We would read with each other. We were exchanging information. We were talking to the herbs, letting our herbs talk to us. Okay? I hear you, Tasia's. Yeah. Um, we were letting the herbs talk to us. We were working with the flowers. We were going to the water. We were the scholars. Now, part of patriarchy is men hijacking the ideas of women and taking it as their own. We can look at the most recent movie, Hidden Figures, right? Where we see traveling to space was something that was pioneered by women, Black women at that, okay? So our ideas, all of that has been hijacked. Nonetheless, this is the time for us to communicate with each other through our books, through our work, through our wombs. Okay? That's what it's time for. I am no longer interested in women that I am connecting with just based on, oh my God, love that. Just based on superficial things, based on just the shows that we watched, or just based on all these other things that we've been given to consume and talk about. I am very interested in being in the same rooms as women who are creators, who are visionaries, who are critical thinkers, who are herbalists, who are doulas, who are stylists, who know how to use their creative energy, period. Writers, artists, teachers, okay? Those are the type of people, the type of goddesses that I spend my time with and that I will personally spend time with. Anything else We wasting time. Through art and through education, which is from the heart. Art is always from the heart. That's why I love art. It's from the heart. So fun fact, I used to be an English teacher, but I also used to be an art teacher. Okay? So helping children to unlock what's in their mind and their imagination and put it down. Listen, I met 2 8th graders that I know are going to become great designers for either large companies or graphic designers for anime or gaming. The way they could, their raw talent that they had, and I encouraged that, the raw talent that they had. And I was like, these are the pioneers. These are the people of the future. I want you all to know these screens and this artificial intelligence is cute. I know people are scared of it because they think the AI is going to take over, baby. Baby, we about to go back to books. We about to go back to cassette tapes and DVDs. I kicked myself because I got rid of all my DVDs and my DVD player. I'm about to get back. I'm about to go to analog. I'm talking alarm clocks. I'm talking VHSs. I'm talking records, a record player, real vinyl. All the digital stuff can be wiped out. This book here, my book, this is me immortalizing myself. Your work, your tangible things. I heard a lot of people are looking for DVD players now. Because as I said, we're about to return back to the analog. The digital had its run for the last 20 years. We've seen all that it can do. All the stuff that we used to say, oh, flying cars and all the stuff we saw on the Jetsons and being able to talk on the phone but be able to see the person you're talking to in the screen. We thought that was unheard of. We've seen it all, okay? We've seen robots. We've seen even in New York, they got the little robotic dogs for the NYPD. We've seen it all. It was cute. It captured the attention. You got iPod babies, digital babies, all of that. But let me tell you something. It's going to go back to pen on paper just like this. It is. History always repeats itself. In this case, it isn't history, it's foundational. And I bet you they're living their best life. You will see more people begin to live off the grid using solar panels. I'm sorry. Everything is expensive. You will see more and more people retreat back to reading books. You don't need cable, go read them books. Okay? Get you a coloring book. Get you a... Go out and play in that pond. When I think about the summers that I grew up and the summers that I spent in North Carolina with my grandmother and my family with no cell phones, the only thing that was really on the TV was the stories, Days of Our Lives, maybe the Sally Show, maybe Ricky Lake, Montel Williams. Okay. Baby, I was outside getting all them codes. I remember how the owl used to sound. I remember, yeah, New York is North Carolina is, my blood and bones are there, so love North Carolina. But I learned the way the wind blew. I learned how it smelled outside before it rained. Definitely learned how to cook, to go to the pork center and pick out all of that shit my grandmother used to be having us get. Right? So it's just like, there was so many other things. And before I knew it, it was 5, 6 o'clock at night. And I've spent the whole day doing things, not on the screen. And baby, let me tell you. Oh, Sage, I know that's right. Raising a child in this dynamic, and trying to, or helping them to understand that their imagination, their mind, their spirit is the real currency, is what's real, is very challenging, where all of these electronics are competing with that. And it's not only just him, it's his friends. It's, the way our children have grown up, even when it comes to school, assignments are on the computers. And I'm like, even if he's doing a worksheet, still on the computer. Now, how can you expect a 10, 11-year-old to self-regulate, to not go to YouTube when they supposed to be on Clever doing their assignment? I think they want them more confused too. They can't self-regulate in that way. So we didn't have to compete with media when I was at school. You might have had a little projector up, but we didn't have phones. And that's one of the things when I was teaching, the phones were a big problem. They were. But I was straight up like, listen, I spoke to my kids, I spoke to my children, and I told them the real. I was like, look, let's say you have, I would give them budgets. I'd be like, hypothetically speaking, let's say you have a family of 4. This is your budget for the week. Make it work. You got to get gas. You have to get food. You have to get groceries. That exercise right there would always give them anxiety, because they had never even had to think about the logistics of what went into getting money, spending it. What happens if you get a flat tire? Don't spend that money on a flat tire. How you gonna get to work tomorrow? You need gas, and the baby still needs Similac. They're like, well, Miss Jenkins, what am I supposed to do, Miss Jenkins? Listen, this is real life. These are the types of decisions that your parents have to make every day, the logistics that they have to come up with every day. And you think it's about being a video game influencer. What is your plan? Well, I'm going to go work at Foot Locker. Okay, do you like your weekends? Well, if you work at Foot Locker, sweetheart, you're going to be working every weekend. How do you know that? Because in retail, you work weekends and holidays. You're not getting days off like you do in school. So when I would just present to them where's my water? When I would just present to them very, very simple examples of how life goes, I see how ill prepared for life they were. How many of them thought they were just going to become streamers. No one wanted to further their education. None of the ladies I talked to wanted to do anything besides be pretty and get a BBL. Okay? This is what they feed in the kids though. And I'm like, boo, I think you beautiful. I do. And you got you beautiful. But what else? Oh, I used to teach, this was right around the pandemic. So like 2019 to 2022. This was recently. I'm like, but baby, what else? What after that? What's going to come after you have the BBL? And then what the young girls didn't understand too. No questions, college or trade. As I said, baby, you can have the BBL, the beauty, all of that, and you're going to get the attention. But you're not going to always like the attention that comes with that. Okay? You're not going to always like the attention that comes with that. Every person that you meet is not always going to be respectful. Even some other women that you meet are going to hate on you because of the way your body looks and because of your beauty. Okay? The girls who are beautiful for real and who are really bombshells for real, they know how the jealousy goes. They know how to just unspoken competition goes when you trying to be friendly. But because you beautiful, women see you as a threat. Okay? You wonder why you being treated funny, why they dumped you out of the group and all that. It's because when y'all went out the other night, you was getting hollered at too much. But like, yeah, I'm like, listen, being beautiful is cool. But what after that? So I'm constantly like, it's so many different layers. And so when I'm telling my son and I'm talking to him about the way the world is and the things that's going on, I'm like, please do not let these little YouTube families or these people who developed during the pandemic, they were able to see that they were able to record their life or kind of journal their life. And now they do unrealistic things to get views. So I have to constantly tell him, like, please, you're not in one of them households. Okay? And like, you're not in one of them households at all. So there can be more of the beauty standard that you be jealous. Oh yeah, they will still be jealous because beauty is also an inside job as well. Okay? Beauty is also about the energy that you bring with it, what you present with it. Okay? That's really what be having people gagging. Is it's not even, and that's why I've dealt with it, because I'm like, it's not only that I'm beautiful, it's that I'm beautiful and I'm wise. But not only am I beautiful and wise, I'm also powerful as fuck. Okay? Now, it's not something I go around flaunting, because those who really have power know it's not something you have to say, something you have to tell people all the time. My ancestors don't play around me, all that. You don't have to do all that. But those who really, get to be in proximity to me, just like at my old workplace, an older Black woman that I was working with, extremely jealous of me. She saw me when I came in, it's beauty first, and she complimented me on my style. Oh, you so fly, all of this. Even asked to try my jacket on. That's how much she was trying to get into the energy. I was like, I don't know about that. Like, I'm pretty, but then I saw her with other people. She would ask to try things on. She would, oh, let me try those on. Let me try your glasses on. One time I complimented her on her glasses. Do you want to try my glasses on? No, I don't. But so not only did she see the beauty, but she saw the wisdom, because she talked about, oh, I love how you articulate. She told me, I be in the mirror practicing how to articulate like you. Get away from me, peasant. Get up off me, heathen, okay? Move. You shouldn't have even admitted no shit like that. I'm glad you did. Now I know what the fuck I need to do. Weirdo. But not only did she then see, so I say all that to say she saw the beauty, she saw the wisdom, and then she had to feel my power because she didn't understand boundaries. Christian woman, all of this, so yeah, you talk all of that, but I know who you is for real. And understand, I ain't about to play no games with you. So, therein created a dynamic. She was older than me, where she thought as an older Black woman, she was going to pull that with me. Like, let me tell you, baby, I'm the queen of my own castle. Okay? I respect my elders. I love my elders. But what you will not do is weaponize your age, because you are a covert narcissist using emotional and relational triangulation, using the fact that we have proximity here to try to guilt trip me on that bullshit you be on. Okay? I know y'all been leaving messages. She was trying to do an energy transfer. Yeah, she was, girl. Confidence is so beautiful to me. Thank you, No Box. Confidence is beautiful. This man chased me down at the train station. He just wanted to tell me I'm beautiful. Yeah, he should have left an offering too. Tell him, next time you gonna chase me down, give me an offering. You chase me down to tell me I'm beautiful? Fuck, you did all that running for what? Oh, you thought you was gonna get something back. Nah, bring something with you next time, sir. Don't run up on me without an offering. That's what you should have told him, Quantum. Next time, tell him run up with an offering, or don't run up. Why are you running up? So, thank you, Brain Dump. So, yeah, and Quantum, you just talked about the energy transfer. It'd be the same way with little shit like that too. You are shining so bright sometimes. People can see you, and they just want some of your energy. There was this man, I was in Cold Stone the other day. He was with his woman. I was ordering. I left a nice amount of space between us. So I kept feeling him look at me, but I'm not making eye contact. I'm trying to order my stuff. After they left, this Bama doubled back around to come into Cold Stone, try to act like he was getting all these napkins and stuff, try to stand all close to me, and I stood back like this. And he was like, looking, yeah, trying to energy transfer. But now, I be like, excuse me. I be like, yeah, give me 6 feet. Act like it's COVID. After that Oshun candle, these men be chasing me down. They do, because Oshun is a sovereign and self-obsessed goddess. I got my Oshun candle burning right there, baby. Okay? That's why all of these men, and they would say like today, all of these men, maintenance had to come in. I've been trying to get in touch with maintenance for the last week. Now all of a sudden they can come in. As I was saying, me and the maintenance director, we had a moment at one time. So he come in and like I said, I'm looking good. I was so happy. I was like, oh, shoot. Looking good. Came in here. Then the other maintenance guy come in here. He's always nice. But today I hope you have a good Friday, a good weekend, being extra nice. Debating whether or not I want to go outside because I know they're going to be acting wild. Okay? So sometimes I just like to look good and be in the fucking house. But yeah. Tell them bring you an offering. I don't give a fuck. You telling me I look good, but why you telling me shit I know? The fuck? It's like somebody coming up to me and telling me you got curly locks in your hair. I already know that. So again, they want some of that energy. Now, I'm all for a healthy masculine energy exchange. Okay? But the problem be a lot of them cannot keep up with the likes of a goddess, right? Because when we start, everyone is equal until they open their mouth. Okay? Hey, let. Everyone is equal to, and then once that mouth open and they see, oh, you in the presence of a self-possessed, self-obsessed woman, self-sourced woman. I'm not being rude, none of that, no. But I am letting you know, like, come with authenticity. Don't pretend to be something that you're not. Don't pretend to have things that you don't. That's why I said a lot of people, they can't look at me in my eyes when I'm talking to them. A lot of men, they can't look at me in my eyes when we talking. I be like, slow down, stop. Look at me. I'm like, sorry, exactly. Exactly. And I be calm. When you learn to be calm, and as I be calm. When you learn to be calm, and as I be, listen, learn to be calm and controlled in your voice, you can still say what you mean. What happens is our emotions get high. And we start letting our emotions, man, you know what? Fuck all of this. And so then that's when you lost. That's when you lost everything. I'm sorry. I get it. You can get emotional. But to have the greatest impact, be calm and controlled and let your voice hold the authority. I can still say to someone, sir, you have me fucked up. This is not the time. This is not the day to be on that bullshit that you're on. I don't want to have to take it there with you. I don't want to have to bring tragedy to your bloodline. But if you do not stop fucking with me, I will consult forces higher than me. Okay? Can we understand each other? I appreciate you. Have a good day. Now, as opposed to, you got me fucked up. Nah, see, I'm about to call on other forces. See, nah, because at the same time, you thought you was about to play with me? You thought you, no, that's why I'm about to curse your whole motherfucker. Same message. But which made you more scared? which showed more control. Okay? I am a lot more afraid of my grandmother who speaks just like this when she's saying something, because I believe that shit. If she tells me you need to do that or this, I believe it. Now, I would also believe my mom when she hyping, she doing all that rah-rah. But what I've learned is when you are calm and you control that voice, authority, calm authority. A lot of men have mastered that. And that's why you will be emotional and they'll be sitting there with that calm authority and be telling you that you're crazy and all of that. Because they've hijacked it. They know it. They know what to do, right? I'm the opposite. I get a man's boxers up in a bunch and then I sit there calmly and say, why are you so in your feelings? Let's just talk about it. I'm sitting there calmly. You're not, but best believe that came from years of me being the over emotional one, the one who couldn't compose herself. It came from years of that. But now it's like, yeah. And so I'll be honest, I'm still working on it when it comes to my son because I'm very emotionally connected to him, right? So it's very hard for me to separate my emotions and to be the logical, supportive parent that I need to be. It's helped me to think of him as a pupil. Okay, I used to teach to, okay, when he's here, he's my son, but when I have to discipline, if you will, let me think of him as a pupil. What would I do with my students? What long-term things, taking away privileges, being constant, all of that. The thing about having a child, though, is when he's on punishment, I'm on punishment too. Guess what, buddy? I wanted to go to that place too. I wanted to go to the movies too. I wanted to do that too. You fucking it up for both of us, but I gotta have principles and boundaries and I gotta stand on them. It's hard. Because I'm like, damn, I wanted to go too. And now I gotta punish your ass. Because I gotta stand on business. Do I always get it right? No. It's been plenty of times I've told him something he's not gonna do and it's gonna be gone for a week, all that, and it doesn't happen like that. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard. That calm authority, though, is going to help you. It helped me a lot today. I was dealing with a situation with maintenance, as I said, something that's been ongoing. And I sent emails earlier this week. Today's Friday. I sent emails on Monday, no response. Reached out to the regional, all of that. I really could have went in there and showed my ass because this is the second time y'all have not been responsive, all of this. Once I did finally get to the property manager, after talking to the leasing agent who talks a little too fast, and I got a feeling that she's dealing with the maintenance guy I used to deal with. That's a whole nother thing because my intuition's never wrong. But my calm authority, when I finally got on the call with the property manager, I talked to her just like this. I was talking, told her what was going on. She took notes. I said, thank you. Have a nice weekend. And within the hour, they were here to fix it. Calm authority. Now, I could have went in there acting wild. I would have been justified. But I have learned, baby, first of all, I'm not going to get my blood pressure up. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to be walking around hoarse. Okay? Because we are the creators of grace. Yes. Yes, girl, I think they in the mix. Love that for her. It's cool, But I mean, I expect, like most men, I expect them to always kind of go for what's more convenient and what's in proximity, right? That's why they often have work wives or the women they deal with or someone who is in close proximity. What's the easiest? Okay. Um, I let it be known from the beginning of our interactions, there's nothing easy over here. Um, I am high maintenance myself, and I'm high maintenance. I require that. I don't pretend to be something I'm not. I don't shrink because I like someone. Um, they're like, oh, what does high maintenance mean? I've had a man ask me that, and I'm like, sir, you know exactly what high maintenance means. But the fact that you're asking just lets me know that this is a misalignment. You're trying to see if I will either downplay what my high maintenance means, or either if you can pick apart whatever my response is so you can find a way to present me with low maintenance options. And that's just not going to work. Okay. Um, Another thing I would just like to say is whatever it is that women decide to do, right? Whether a woman decides to forge herself on the dark feminine path, whether she decides to get married, whether she decides to give up her sovereignty, all of, at, in all ways, right? And lay down and just be totally submissive, whether she decides to be you know, whatever she decides to do, I finally realized it's not my life. It's not my poom poom. As this isn't a final realization, but I know this. And so, like, I cannot fathom how others can be so bothered by what a woman does with her own poom poom. You understand? Like, you be invested in it. It literally, it's not going to affect you at all. It's not going to affect you at all. No matter where a woman is in her path, I will always find a connection and solace with her, except for if she is a male-centered, pick-me, psychologically screwed up ass bitch. And you don't hear me use the word bitch, because a bitch is nothing but a woman in need of healing. Okay, that's all a bitch is. Some girls were mean girls in high school. They say, oh, you're a grown mean girl. No, a grown mean girl is a bitch. She's not a mean girl anymore. She's just a bitch. Okay? In need of healing. But no matter where a woman finds herself, we will find connection. It is always their choice, whatever sovereignty is. And it depends on that wound and whatever they're trying to heal from. For some women, sovereignty is, for those first couple of months, having as much sex as they can with as many men as they can. That's part of their sovereignty. And then after that, they may change into using their womb alchemy in a different way. But their sovereignty is their choice. Just like the woman who decides, I've been too sovereign, right? I've spread myself a little bit too much. Now I want the protection of marriage, because a married woman is protected in a certain way. Okay? There is a protection that comes over a woman who's married. It's a give and take, because for that protection, she gives up some of her sovereignty, right? Now, there are times as a sovereign woman where I sit here and I'm like, damn, I see why. I want some of the protection. I'm tired of figuring out everything on my own. It would be nice to have a partner, right? So I get it. But what I also know is that it's a give and take. So a married woman has a certain level of protection, and there's a certain level of sovereignty that she gives up. She's not totally in control of her schedule. She can't do whatever the fuck it is that she wants to do, because ultimately she's still in a relationship. Even women who are like, oh, my man lets me do whatever the fuck I want to do. Girl, to an extent, okay? It's like, we know for you to respect the relationship, you're not doing whatever the fuck you want to do. And that's okay, because in a relationship, we give up parts of our sovereignty for the protection that is supposed to come as a result. Now, some women don't get that protection. Some women find that, okay, yeah, I'm still doing everything on my own as a sovereign woman. I just got another dependent with me that's calling themselves, a part of this relationship. And I get that too. But no matter where a woman is in her journey, what I'm saying is that what she decides to do with her body, what she decides to do with her poom poom, it don't matter to me. All that matters is when she decides Okay, I'm about to have this relationship with myself. When she's ready to have that relationship with herself, I'm here to guide her through that. What's happened as a result, hey, it's gonna create character. It's gonna create the healing path, because the wound is always gonna help dictate the healing path, right? As I said, whether she comes from a very repressed background or a very open background, that is going to dictate how she moves with that wound. People have to create relationships that fit. Do not accept those status quo relationships. Hey, hey, happy Venus Day. Do not, Miss Valerie, do not accept that, because some women know that. Yeah, it's like you find out a woman's man is cheating, and the first thing you want to do is run to her and tell her about it, because you know she ain't going like that, and you know you need to tell her, and you can't believe he's out here disrespecting, and you don't even know that they have an open relationship, or she's accepted that that's what he's going to do. That's why some women, you go and tell them about their man, and they're like, she didn't do anything. Girl, they already have an agreement. Now, whether or not she's getting played, that ain't for me to say. But they already have an agreement set up. Sometimes she knows she's the other woman, but he takes care of her so well that she's like, you know what? I'm cool with this. Sometimes he knows he's the other man, but he's like, all you want me to do is come over here when your man out of town and break you off? All right, I got it. So it's like, yeah, whatever works for you. Whatever works as far as your relationships go. Okay? I've been moving more towards like sacred partnership rather than marriage, just because of the ritual that's involved with marriage, the vows that are taken, and the kind of sacred ownership that you give to someone else over your body. Okay, when you're taking vows, being in a relationship, sacred partnership, yes. Now, legally, I can understand marriage too. It's like life insurance, if something happens, the backing up, alimony, all of that. I get that. Give and take. What works best for you? Because for some women, that's a bit much. For other women, they're like, no, I need to secure that. I need that. If I'm going to be here, I need to be secured. I get it. Just saying. I think that's very smart to do that. Because the old and sickness and health to death do us part. Now, I'm going to tell you something. And there's 6 people in here, so I can say it. I wasn't never with staying with a motherfucker if they get all sick and shit. I'm being honest with myself. Right? What you mean you ain't take care of yourself? What you mean you fucking with a priestess and you got a chronic illness? Something you did. Something your family did. Because it, you know, like what? After paying this one, I was like, hold on, I wouldn't mind a man. Girl, after taking that trash out, after paying that car note, all of that. Unconditional love is for children. I am not staying with you through that. May be there through some of it, but if it gets too bad, listen. What? So my thing is this, and listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I remember when I was in my last relationship, my ex, he had got sick. All he had was a cold, but he was acting so sickly, and so after about the 5th or 6th day, I got in from work, and I'm sitting in the living room, and I'm rolling up, and he just comes rolled up in all of his stuff, and his blanket and pillow, and just lays out all sickly. He's just in front of me. I'm like, can you go back to the back? I just can't. Like, can you go back to the back there, and I'll come back there. And I probably didn't say it as nice as this, But child, he got real mad at me. He was like, that's fucked up. See, I know for real now, if I was to really get sick for real, like I know like you wouldn't really be there with me. Like you not really in this with me. And I said, listen, I thought to myself, like, you can't guilt trip me about that. I asked you to just allow me to have the living room on my own without you inundating it with your sickness. But yeah, if you think that your sickness is going to become our sickness, if it was to become chronic, yeah, I'm not giving up years of my life for that. That's not fair to me. Why would you want me to get sick too? Okay, taking care of them starts to affect you. I know it does. So I remember in that conversation, that's when I knew our sickness, right? That's when I knew, yeah. I was like this right here. We not doing this. And my thing is, you constantly doing things that are going to contribute to your long term, you not having good health. Okay? Because, sir, we deal with plant medicine. Why are you coming in here with Black and Miles and Crown? Like your name is Willie Earl. When did you start smoking Black and Miles? When did you start drinking hard liquor during the week? A little wine, a little here. I don't even drink like that in here. These are not things you came up with. This is who you really are. Yeah, so you are contributing to this sickness that you think you're going to have. Now, you already have a sickness up here. I already know that. And some conversations with you. I know that this shit is sick. That noggin ain't wrapped all the way tight. It ain't wrapped all the way up there. But you from the district. He's from D.C. I said, I'll give you some leeway. Because I believe that D.C. did have some lead in their water and that some of those people were affected. Okay? Wow. That black mold. I had black mold in one of my apartments, and that's why I got the fuck up out of there, too. I say, ain't gonna get me sick. But yeah, these men play too much. And that's why I be like, listen, baby, if I want to play, I'm going to play. I'm going to come outside and play. I'm going to play. But don't get upset when we was playing and now you want to get serious. Because we was always playing. And a lot of times, men cannot fathom the fact that you are just enjoying them. They do not like the fact you are just enjoying them without catching feelings. And it's like, I can like you. Yeah, you around me. I like you. But no, I'm not in love with you. I'm not dreaming about you. I'm not getting to the point where I'm going to be like, Keith, what are we, please? Keith, let me know what we are. Because we've been doing this for some months. I just want to... No. But a lot of them cannot fathom that you're just enjoying them. I always tell them you're my favorite. I've told him, and that worked for a little bit. And then one dude like really got in his feelings, and he was like, "No, I'm not." And Keith, that's really some of my old work. That's really his name, Keith. I did have a Keith. He was cute too. I used to call him Twin. He was real cute, childish, so childish. I had to cut him off. You understand? And he's childish because he went to Brazil. Want to send me pictures from Brazil. Bitch, did you ask me to go to Brazil? Hey, Divine Caribbean. I don't give a fuck about you being in Brazil. Did you ask me to go to Brazil and get back shots on the fucking balcony? No. So I don't give a fuck about your trip to Brazil, nigga. So yeah. That, I wasn't... Hey, Medusa. I wasn't feeling that. I was like, yeah. But yeah, you know, a lot of them. And so it got to a point. It got to a point where I was like, I'm just going to enjoy you. And yeah, a lot of men don't like the fact of a woman just enjoying them. Like, How dare you just enjoy me for my dick and good time? Yes, sir, we're having a good time. I enjoy what we do and all that. We don't have to have no feelings. I thought that's what you wanted. What, you wanted me to have feelings just so you could deny them? You wanted me to have feelings just to, sir, stop. You're a madman. Stop what you're doing. Just let me enjoy this. My ex would not just let me enjoy him. He would not let me enjoy him. When I explained to him, sir, I want you around physically. I was like, right, Auntie Bree. I was like, can we have physical, a physical kind of situation? And you still gonna be out here going on dates with niggas? I said yes. But I don't necessarily want to sleep with them. You my ex. And you my best eater. Thank you, Divine Caribbean. You my best eater. So like, what's wrong? Oh, he was like, I tell you what. You hit me. Maybe I'll come over if you want some. Maybe I'll come. I said, no, we ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna take you off the roster. I thought we was building to getting back together. What would make you think that? I'm enjoying my time. I get quality dick from you, and I go on dates with multiple men that I don't have to do that with. It's not to be besties. They can't handle it. I'm like, sir, don't ask for the truth because you can't handle that truth. Don't ask me where I was. Damn, where you been? Don't worry about it. I'm here now. You don't want to know that. Y'all don't really want the truth. The men's don't really want the truth. They already gave me my restriction back. Good. So I be like, baby, they can't take just being experienced. And that's why now you see so many of them being guarded. Don't look at me like you can handle it. I don't know what that means, Danny. You see so many of them being guarded like, no, I don't even want to go out. I don't know if she like me like that. I don't even know if she like me like that, bruh. Now, for years, women had to sit and wonder if you liked us. We went on dates and we're auditioning. Okay. Now we're going on dates to collect data, like a military intelligence center. Okay. And based on the data that is presented, we will see whether or not you go to the next level, whether or not you advance. Gotta clock it. Because I don't remember anyone cutting women any breaks. I don't remember anyone saying, you know what? We should be better. We should stop lying. No. You told women to choose better, and now we are choosing better. We are choosing better. We are. And even if that means being single longer, oh fucking well. Because you ain't about to take my nervous system through here. And once they realize that we figured out the dick is not worth the nervous system deregulation, we weighing those up. No, sir. No, it's not worth that. It was never worth that. That dick better be disciplined, clean, and spiritually elite. Okay? You want me to put it in my mouth? Where has it been? But listen, I'm telling you, I've seen the strongest of women I've seen the strongest of women become victims. Shall we talk about our patron saint? I brought her up a couple times, but we've seen the strongest of women. When that phallus magic hits them and it hits that back wall and certain things are whispered into their ear and they get the twitching, and glitching. You start glitching. And all of that shit, all of those things that you said, all of those affirmations you lived by, all of those t-shirts you wore, those things you walked around with their bullhorn. How could someone just fuck that out of you? I never deny the power that the phallus has. I never deny phallus magic. I never deny that our sex magic was hijacked and taken from us and used against us. Got you saying his name. No, you better say my name. You think about when they ask you whose is it, you tell them it's theirs. You giving up that ownership. I done said that shit before too. I had to reclaim my ownie. I done told her that in the throes of passion. Done told somebody it was theirs, lying. That's why a lot of times I shut my mouth, because I done got myself in some shit. Maybe I was traumatized by what I saw, but I've never experienced that level. Yeah. Yeah, we all been there. We have all been there. We have all been there. And that's why I be telling women too, listen, if you ain't built yourself up to the point, if you ain't Ford tough, don't go out there fucking around. Don't go out there. Flirt, do what you do, a little this, a little that. But if you know that the phallus has, look at your track record. If you know the phallus has a history of putting you in hypnosis, then and performing sex magic with a man is a very slippery slope. You have to be 100% sure that you all are aligned on your goals. You really do, because I've definitely tried to do it with someone and then got siphoned. Like, I could feel it. And I was like, oh, I don't like that. I was like, I don't like that. And I definitely been with someone who's taken me to another realm. And I knew I was in another realm because when I came back down, and I was still on top doing my thing, I came back down. I was like, oh, did you go there too? He like, yeah, I went there too. I was like, oh, Gemini. That's why I like Geminis. Crazy nigga nonetheless. But he could take me to them places. I said, oh. So if they on their magic for real, yeah, they can take you. But you know, in the midst of that, later on, like, I did become privy because I didn't know how to protect myself in the right way. I was a younger priestess. I didn't know how to protect myself in the right way. I did get exposed to some of his underworld demons and shit, like in his dream world, like a few days later, because I didn't close off my portal. Okay. That's what happens a lot of times too. It's like women be open and then you give a man that, you have that with him and then you keep your portal open. That's what keeps you open. And then if he's in your bed, Gemini, and they brainy. They're nerds. I love that. We can talk that shit. That's why I love Geminis. Like, yeah. They're great in the bedroom. Okay? If they're balanced, so you can get past the moods and all that, they balance Gemini, like, yeah. I know Geminis get a bad rap, but like Gemini men, like some of my faves, honestly. I'll be like, baby, you gotta be able to handle a Gemini. But they are loyal. They are gonna get you a balanced Gemini. You don't struck gold, girl. Maybe me being a female Gemini, I haven't met my match or close. I don't think women Geminis will probably get along with men Geminis. It's highly unlikely like two people of the opposite sex in the same astrological sign. I don't see that. Some of the worst men are Geminis though. Trump, Kanye. Oh God, Kanye. Oh God. Who can handle a Capricorn woman? Oh my goodness. My mom is a Capricorn. She got an Aries. I'm like, wow. They bump heads like shit, but I think an Aries can handle a Capricorn. She married two Aries. Capricorn woman is how can I a strange and beautiful creature, okay, to say the least. Yeah, they're very strong. So maybe a Taurus, but like yeah, Capricorns are very strong. Strange creatures. 8 weeks with one. I was like, no, he wanted to compete with my feminine. Yeah, my descendant is an Aries. My son is an Aries. Compete with your feminine rest, girl. No, then no. A man that doesn't want to see you rest, or a man who congratulates you on how strong you are, get the fuck away from me. Oh, you're so strong. I love how hard you work. We're not going to romanticize my work, my hard work. No, no, no. Ain't nothing sexy about that. Okay? I don't think ain't nothing sexy about me working hard. If that turns you on, you have a kink for hardworking women, no, this is not the place for you. Okay? I don't think they have kinks for it. They just lazy. I love me a hardworking woman. Yes, you can sit your ass back and put your feet up and eat corn chips. No. No, no, no. You may go to work sometimes. You won't have to work as hard. I see it. I've seen it. Like, no, I don't believe that. No, a man who really loves a woman, he wants to see her in her feminine. Okay? An Aquarius with a Capricorn, goddess bless you. Okay? I had a lot of passion with Libra and Leo men. They wanted to compete. Leo men, I know about Leos. I attract them, but they are. Yikes. Leo men, yikes. When they call you big money, oh no, blocked. I can't believe that. Because why are you pocket watching? What's wrong with you? Why are you pocket watching? Like, Big Daddy Fred. That's interesting. I actually like Leo men more than Leo women. I'm the opposite. I like Leo women better. But I can see why you feel that way about Leo women too. Because they are also creatures. Leo men and Leo women are both somewhat delusional creatures. Very passionate, very impulsive, not really good with money. But that's just, they can't help it. Let me get my computer right quick because I got to order lunch. Hold on. But yeah, my dad is a Taurus. Child, you a Pisces. Pisces man, oh Lord. Oh Lord. I had a Pisces man once. The truth was not in him. Okay? The truth was not in that man. And that's all I have to say about Pisces. Is like it was really hard for me to forge a real connection with him because the truth was not in him. What has my son done to my background? So I don't let children get on my stuff. Yeah, I don't be understanding like, child, how was my shit different? This was colored, all of that. Let me sign him out. Oh, child, please. Anyway, add another account, add my account. Great in bed, but they are also very feminine. Ooh, which one you talking about? I'm not trying to go in no school account. God. Y'all, he done. Let me restart my computer because Pisces men, oh my goodness. Pisces men are feminine. And Pisces men to me, they don't tell the truth. That's my biggest quorum with them is they gonna be telling the damn truth. So it just be like, they do want to be the baddie. And a lot of men be wanting to be the baddie, period, in the relationships now. And so I think, and some women are okay with that. I think like, so what we have to understand too is there are some women who are okay with like taking care of their man. You know what I'm saying? And like being a breadwinner and like being in control. Okay? Like they okay with that. Like y'all be like, oh, I want a man to take shit. They be like, shit, I want to take care of my man. I'm control his ass. Sometimes they want to beat his ass if he get out of line. All of that. Like some women like that shit. I've seen it too much. I've seen it too much to know it's not by default, right? He want to get a job. You don't want him to get a job. I'm talking about stay home and take care of the kids. She wants him home. She wants him home. She want to come in there and critique whether or not he cleaned or not. Listen, I done seen it. It's her thing. Like, it's their thing. So, different strokes for different folks. That's why I say when it comes to all parts of the feminine experience, I understand it. Like, I understand women. Like, I have worked with so many women from so many different walks of life. Some of the most interesting women I work with are the ones who work in the strip clubs or the women of the night. Because people have, I ain't never seen that shit. Girl, I done seen it. Especially here in DC. Especially here in DC. I know you in Philly now, but like for the time you did spend here, these women here, a lot of women here do make a lot of money. They're a lot more aggressive and they don't have no problem approaching men, taking men on dates, telling men you gonna be with me together, moving them in and like setting that man up. Like, yeah, that's what they'll do. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And good you've never seen that because to me it's a poor example of what should be happening, right? Oh God, now my DoorDash not working. It's a poor example of what should be happening. But still, nonetheless, it happens. But I think that, hold on, let me sign into this, y'all. Because if I don't get some food soon, now they want my number. And I got a little credit over here on this DoorDash. They sent me a code, her number. And I got a little credit over here on this DoorDash. They sent me a code. Hold on. All right. So anyway, yeah, oh my gosh, they got me back on this one. This is not the right one I'm supposed to be on. Let's sign out of this. What y'all had for lunch today? I need some ideas. What y'all had for lunch? It's 2 o'clock. It's a little late lunch, but like, what y'all had? Sign out. Maybe I sign as myself this way. I just ordered pizza. I had fish all week, chicken salad. Pizza sounds good. That actually sounds good. Pizza is kind of like my kryptonite, especially when I'm trying, keep the waist. That pizza, I'm like, who the fuck invented pizza, man? Shit is so good. Like the bread, the cheese, the sauce, all of that. So this is not the one I've been using. I must have been using the other one. But I'm a Virgo, okay? Virgo women, I think that a balanced Virgo woman learns to be self obsessed. You are too, Indigo, or you talking about the pizza? But an imbalanced Virgo woman is very much a self abandoning woman. Okay. Thank you, Miko. Very much a self abandoning woman. Just through acts of service really being her purpose or her love language. Very, very easy for her to be taken advantage of, right? You giving someone something, you being open, you constantly giving to someone or giving to a relationship does not guarantee that they're gonna do the right thing and reciprocate. And so a lot of times, oh my goodness, especially if you have a church girl background. Well, listen, as I've always said, religion is offensive to women. So as a woman, a religious woman, you're expected to submit and put all of her grow the rollers, the small pink rollers. But I had it rolled up for like 2 days. That's what got them tight. I was like, I actually had some time off to do them. But yeah, I use the rollers. But yeah, because we are really taught to self-abandon in religion, most definitely as a woman. Like, oh hell yeah. Like basically religion, like if you don't got a man, you ain't shit. Basically. And that's why women find themselves feeling incomplete when they still going by all of these kind of hold on, y'all, because I gotta find. Hold on 1 second. Just give me a moment. I'm gonna put this on pause. Yes. Ooh. I got a couple of different DoorDash accounts, y'all. That's why. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's hard out here for a pimp at the end of the day. It really is. What you gotta do. It's hard out here for a pimp at the end of the day. It really is. It really is. So as I was saying, as a woman, especially if you have a religious background, not only will you be inundated with ideas that tell you that you are supposed to abandon yourself for a relationship and only see God as a man, you will have the women in your family that will also echo this, okay? Women who will abandon themselves and at times abandon their children too in the name of being a good Christian woman. We see it all the time. So, um, yeah. I encourage, I'm like, I don't even get deep into religion, like I said, because I've stepped away from it for so long. I do understand it. You understand my family. It is, I mean, my father's a pastor, you know, God bless him. But at the same time, what they mean they cannot find my account? At the same time, I know what's real out here, and he know who I am too. As I've always said, like my father knows who I am. He knows that I have gifts. He know I listen to my gifts. He has gifts too. I know I got some of my gifts from my mother, but then as time went on, I learned too I got some gifts from him. You said it's freezing. My how is it now? Oh, okay. There you go, Auntie Bree. Yeah, and I finally got into my DoorDash so I can order something. Yeah, but this my whole thing. Like, I'm gonna always use my spiritual gifts. At the end of the day, I'm gonna always use them, and I think women should use their spiritual gifts. As I said, they were given to us for us to help ourselves at times, help others around us, and also to protect ourselves. Our intuition, our discernment, all of that are intangible weapons that we can use to move smarter throughout the world. Like I said, I do not victim blame, but I also know women need to pay attention to when they don't feel right, when something doesn't feel right. Okay? Being nice. Okay? That being nice shit, it gets you in some situations. You being nice. Like, nah, I'm not being nice. You need to be firm. A lot of times you nice and then you end up wasting time, wasting energy, wasting resources because you was nice. So anyway, y'all, I gotta order lunch. I gotta do some things. I'm glad y'all came and spent some time with me today. I was debating whether or not I was gonna go outside. I don't know. It was nice out there, and I would look like a little cold. So either way, if I can find something on here, it's just much easier to do on my phone. I kind of want Chinese. I've been eating Chinese a lot though. I need to chill out on that. Okay, maybe I will do a pizza. Some pizza. Somebody said pizza. It's not any good like regular pizza places though. Yeah, we have a very good relationship, honestly. Um, Me and him are really close. And like the thing is even with me being who I am, thin crust is the way to go. You right. Even with me being who I am, I respect other people's path. So like people who are in church, the Muslimas, women who I respect their paths because I know that people have their own experiences that make them believe in what they believe in, right? So I respect that. And so it's not like, oh, I'm not going to go to church. My grandmother is over 100 years old. She wants me to go to church with her. I'm going to go to church with her. She's an active member of her church. I can still go there and get that experience, you know. Um, I can still have that respect. But me just being who I am, knowing who I am, the up, down, left, right, dark and light, like I see the divine in everything. So it's like any place I go, you know, look, it's like some cemeteries I go to, the spirit's like, hey, I'm like, hey, because like when I be like, yeah, like I have friends on the other side, like yeah, so it ain't nowhere I go. The same way some people have like diplomatic immunity in the hood and shit. Like I feel like I got that spiritually. Like where I go, it's like, okay, it's a Serena, we good. I feel like church people are more judgmental. Oh yeah, they are judgmental. But he already know who I am and what's going. I go around him with my jewelry on. See this? You see this? This ain't no cross, baby. This okay, we got the womb up in there. Like it is what it is. And he follows my content and he seen my business. And my father, I know, goes deep into my content and looks at it. So he knows. He know I'm about goddess. He know I talk. He know I talk about the Ten Commandments and getting saved. And I was baptized as a child. And let me say, I feel that me being baptized has helped me. You know, I feel like my baptism and what I took from it and what I got from it as a child, I feel like it has helped me in my life. And I feel like I've been protected from certain things. Hence why I would want my son to get baptized. But as my grandmother explained to me, like, okay, you can't just go to a church and get baptized. And I know that, like, you got to be a member of the church and all that. So that's a whole nother thing. But, like, also, who's stopping me from going down to the river on my own? Getting in that water, saying the words and baptizing my child as a priestess. Exactly. Exactly. What's stopping me from going down and doing that? and putting that protection and cleansing him with the water. You know? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Vibes. Create your own pizza. Okay, let's do it, y'all. I don't want a large. I can do a medium. So I don't need a large one. You do tomato sauce. Pesto Parmesan. That's an extra $4. Ain't nobody doing that. I cannot order on him. I have to order on my phone. Water is the first wound. You know what? You absolutely right. And with that being said, like I said, the womb is where life begins and ends. That's why even in traditions they still use water. Okay. But I'm like, yeah, I'm with that. I'm like, I can do that on my own. Like I can just do that on my own for real. And that's what I think is the movement for 2026. Especially with me wanting to do that for my son. And when we take an active role in what we do, we become the architects of our spiritual experience too. Cause now I get to kind of say like what I want to say over my son when he gets baptized, or just really take ownership in that. As a priestess, you know what? I was asked to do a wedding one time, and I was like, "Give me a moment. I'm only gonna go where I'm comfortable." But the girl asked me to like officiate her wedding. I was like, I don't know about that one. And I ain't know about him. So I wonder, like, pastors, especially if they really connected to the divine, like if they know that this couple ain't supposed to be together, do they deny? Do they be like, look, I had a dream. Y'all ain't even supposed to be getting married. I don't even know. That's why I ain't do it. I don't know how I would have done it. I was like, girl, we can't do that in no church. I ain't go to no church. What, you want to do it on the ocean? So that's why I didn't do it. But also, she didn't even end up marrying that Bama. That girl was, oh my God, she was a mess. Me and my sister went out to Miami one time to see her. I thought she had it all set up. That was a trip from hell. And I love Miami. Oh my goodness. That girl. She had us out in the trenches, which I'm fine with. But take me to the trenches where, you know what I'm saying, where the men look good, where the men like to spend. She got us going to these places because she looking for her man who ain't answering the phone. That's some shit you do on your own time. Don't do that when I'm down here out of town. You see what I'm saying about male-centered women? Okay, they will waste their own time and waste your time too. Like, girl, why? Why did you have us out here chasing behind this man? Then we found him. He wasn't even pressed to see her. It was really giving. I was so annoyed. I was like, girl, we spent Friday night with you, but we will not be spending Saturday night with you. Because I see what you like to do. You like to spend all your little gas money chasing behind men who don't answer the phone. Do you see how many Negroes is at this function? Do you see how many other people is at this function? Do you see the dude that I just got us to buy his drinks? What's wrong with you? I tell you, you learned about somebody, you travel with them. That's why I say, before you really lock in with somebody, do business with them or travel with them. And you will really see their character, who they are. For real. I promise you. Whether it's a friendship, marriage, whatever, travel with them. Or do business with them. And you will see. Because one thing I take very seriously is my business. Like, the women who work with me or the women who order from me, like, I'm transparent with them about what I'm doing when I'm sending their stuff. I'll get on live sometimes packaging up the wrapping up the packages. because like when it comes to my business, especially being a spiritual business, I ain't gonna play no games with you. People who play with the spirits, and whether that's you playing in religion or playing with the spirits, you playing about what you can do and what your abilities are, like nah, ain't no good gonna come to you with that. Like, I'm like, it might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, it might happen in some years, it might happen to your mama, might happen to somebody close to you, but I promise when you playing them spirits, oh, they gonna come back to collect. Especially if you was using their name, their energy to manipulate others. Fool. We used to have this little song in high school, what you look like, a damn fool. What you look like, a damn fool. Looking like a damn fool. You look like a damn fool. You understand? Doing that. Because you shouldn't be doing that. You know you shouldn't be doing that. And it give real spiritualists a bad name. It's a lot of, some people I meet with, they be like, listen, I was very skeptical about meeting with you. And I'm like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a lot of people out here who play games. And it's a lot of people out here who just do evil things in the name of spirituality. But I be like, listen, baby, I promise you ain't no good gonna come to them. Like, you living a miserable life to even do that anyway. Because I know to whom much is given, to whom much power is given, much is tested. And so you can play around if you want to, like I said. But overall, it's not going to work out good for you. Okay, let me go ahead and place this order. Finally. It's not really one. We kind of all over the place. Spiritual gifts. More than anything. Just talking about spiritual gifts. So whom much is given, much is required. Yes, and also when you have your gifts, and that's what I was talking about too, is why when we have our gifts, why don't we listen to it? Why don't we listen to why don't we listen to the nudges that we get? Do you vet spiritualists? I don't need to. Their energy gonna speak to me. But I know everybody does not have the same gifts that I do. But I'll say this. Typically when somebody gets exposed in the community on a big level or a small level, I be like, I always felt off about them. Like a lot of stuff that people congratulate or follow behind that I don't follow behind. And then later on it comes out as it was some fugazi ass shit. I'd be like, I knew that. I already felt that. Right? I can sense misalignment quickly. So some spiritualists do get along with other spiritualists, right? You have kind of spiritualists who are somewhat vengeful. They get along with other ones. And just because some people are spiritual don't mean that they're not messy. Okay. You have some very messy spiritualists, even right here on TikTok. Like they're messy. They always in some shit. They always tagging each other, going back and forth. Got their followers going back and forth, doing stuff like that. Things like that. I get it. And it's like people will sometimes mention your name for clout too. All of those dynamics, you know what I'm saying? All of those dynamics come up. But overall, as a spiritualist, you know what I'm saying? As far as vetting them, hey lady, as far as vetting them, some of you want to learn through trial and error. Okay. My telltale is how quick she reduces a woman. It sounds simple, but it's hard. Act to follow. Um, yeah, I mean, people are going to tell on themselves naturally anyway, but as far as like when people like I say, you can look at people's work and tell who they are. Anyone I be like who be claiming the abracadabra, like, oh, with a flick of this wand you do this one thing and it's going to change your life. Like, no, the work is layered and the work is real and the work takes a lifelong commitment. It's like, as I said, as years go by, when you find yourself deep in the throes of doing the work, you see, oh, I've leveled up. It's been 3 years. Oh, I leveled up. It's been 7 years. Oh, I leveled up. It's been a decade. And you look at where you were in 2016 and where you are now. Like I even said, to get to my bombshell phase, to get to the point of total embodiment. And when I look at my journey, I can say it took, 10 years to get here. If I look at from where I was in 2016 to now, to say, oh, I finally got to a point where I am fully confident, right? Fully can magnetize, fully feel like, oh, okay, I'm standing in who I am as a woman, standing 10 toes down in that, and like putting my feet in the ground and finally realizing like I'm not here to transcend the world. I'm here to grow through it. Through all of the things that are going, I'm here at this time for a reason. So like, yeah, that's surrender too, baby. That's sweet, sweet surrender. And when you forge that cosmic relationship with the feminine, that cosmic relationship with Goddess, and she really talking to you, and you like, I'm not doing this alone. The same magic and abilities that would be given to a man god or a male godhead, right? Oh, thank the Lord. Yes, yes. Won't he do it? All of that. Now, if we were to just been talking to you since you were 7, if we were to just turn that around and pay attention to Goddess, who's always been there, whispering to us. Not as loud always, okay? Not always as bold, but definitely subtle and always there. And then you will see, as a woman, like your whole mind frame will change around the way that you experience life. Okay, so it's like no shade, but when a woman is still seeing the creator as a man, okay? And some may say, oh, they don't have a gender or whatever. But as a kind of general, or just kind of what you fall back on is always that it's a man, right? That's why I be like, thank Goddess, you know? And when you're able to surrender to that energy, is when the intangible things become tangible now. You start to see tangible fruits of the sacrifices that you've made. That coincidence lets me know I'm meant to be here today. You are. On Venus Day, you are meant to be here. Nothing is a coincidence, no. It's just a little wink from Goddess. When we notice it, she winking. She like, oh, you see the connections now? You see how it's all connected? You see how you've always been a co-creator in your existence based on what you decide to focus on, based on what perspective that you decide to have. And that's what, allows the Goddess to really flow through the fabric of your life. The sweet, sweet surrender. Like, had to finally stop fighting it, right? Like, stop fighting being a goddess. Like, stop fighting that every day is not going to be exactly as you plan. Every day you're not going to have the same energy levels. Every month your body's going to go through cycles. You're going to feel chaotic. You don't run on the same clock all the time. Like, stop fighting all of that. Like, stop fighting the fact that you are a woman with a womb, with mystical abilities, who sometimes feels silly, sometimes feels highly sexual, sometimes feels like, leave me the fuck alone. Can a man be drawn to the dark feminine? A woman, he should be drawn to that. He should be drawn to that. Most of them are drawn to the light feminine, who is submissive and a laborer and a quote unquote good girl. Only a chief can handle Big Mama, that dark feminine energy. You gotta be a chief, okay? But most men are trained to embrace and also consume light feminine energy. He cannot consume dark feminine energy though. Dark feminine energy cannot be consumed. She's too aware. She's too self-sourced. The cycles are much better. Once you embrace the cycles, you break your own toxic cycles. Once you embrace the cycles of Goddess, you break your own toxic patterns and cycles. The dark feminine is their creator. The womb is the void. He will attempt to control it. He will attempt to, but it's like when a warlock comes up against a high priestess, okay? He will be consumed. It will be a battle. It's definitely a battle, okay? Especially if she's self-actualizing or if she has a blind spot. But best believe her spiritual team brought that warlock there to make her stronger, for her to slay that demon. I'm talking about myself, okay? But I know it for other women too. Because once the realization that you're with a warlock, okay, now this is a demon that I have to slay, but parts of this demon has now connected with me, is connected with me, has been, their essence has come into mind, right? All of that. So, yeah. That's why I find it interesting that the last 2 times this week when I've been out, I've been carded. One when I was buying a bottle of wine. The second when I was getting a drink at the restaurant. And I was like, I look under 21. Like, you look real young. And I said, okay. I done cleared it out now. Because I haven't got carded in years. Thank you, Big Mama. And I was like, self-devotion, self-worship, those are all anti-aging serums. Okay? I was like, that's what's been going on. But I told myself on Sunday at the beginning of this week was about recharging. That's what it was about. I gave myself permission to recharge. I said, no, that's what this week is about. It's about recharging. That's the recipe. 75% recharging and rest, 25% execution. That's the way you're going to operate the best. Most of us got it backwards. We're 75% execution, 25% rest. No. A woman is at her best when she is well rested, nervous system regulated, beautiful, no dark circles up under her eyes, no bags under her eyes, totally rested, maybe had a few orgasms to add to that glow. She back on top. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. That's when she's at her best. She's not at her best when she keeps on going. No, she has to rest. She needs a lot of rest to be her best. To think of how long that culmination period is, that incubation period, if you will, when she cooking up something. Like, if I could, if a woman's like, okay, for instance, I'm going to go on a world tour. Well, for 9 months, I'm going to incubate, and then I'll go on a world tour for the last 3 months of the year or something like that, because I know how much energy I'm going to be putting out, and hydration. Oh my goodness. And that hydration is going to make that skin glow. That hydration is going to make that poom poom flow. That hydration is going to have that brain working, have those muscles activated. Motion is lotion, okay? Like, a lot of people are dehydrated. I told y'all about that one young woman I met who was pregnant who said she did not like the taste of water. That's why I'm never too busy. That's why I'm never busy just to be busy. My calendar revolves around rest and energy. Yeah. And as I said, when I sit with women sometimes, they still are jittery. They don't know about just being calm and being at rest. It's a generational blockage, and it's a generational scar that makes women feel guilty about rest. Okay? Because a lot of our mothers and grandmothers and great grandmothers work their fingers to the bone. Okay? They work their fingers to the bone, and we think that's what our worth is tied to. Like, no, I need to rest. Rest is part of my work. Rest and rejuvenation is part of the work that I do. When I dream, and my dreams give me a lot of my inspiration for my writing. Because I'm able to receive. You have to rest. A woman cannot create if she's constantly on go, if she can't just sit her ass down and be in silence. That's why I be like, listen, I be like, why can't y'all sit down? Why can't you just sit down? Just sit there, like, yeah. You know, see what comes to you. Why can't you be alone? I find it interesting. Women who have living relationships, who have children, find themselves craving the alone time, right? You love when you have the house to yourself. And then the women who live alone, who don't know that luxury, who are craving to have someone in the house with them, to the point they want to move someone in the house with them. They want someone always there. Like, oh man, isn't that a dynamic? Actually rest. Yes. I'll be like brain rot a little bit. Cause I'm guilty of that too, Meg. I will be in the bed and I will still be on my phone doing things on my calendar, creating things on Canva. Sometimes I get inspired and I'm like, I need to write this idea down, or I need to put this in my notes. But then I end up going in over work mode, and I have to pull myself back. So I've definitely been working on that too, on not letting myself be restless, or saying, you know what, that can wait until tomorrow, or I'll get back to it, or I can have these plans. If my body says, no, we're not doing that today, guess what? We're not doing that today. I'm not betraying my body. Do not betray your body and what she says to you, because she is talking to you and you feel her for a reason. You feel the tension for a reason. You feel the sudden pain for a reason. You feel the fatigue for a reason. You feel the sudden headache for a reason. Okay? Sometimes you didn't listen to the whisper, so now she got to yell. It was like, listen to her. She's always talking to you. Our body is always talking to us. Our spirit is always talking to us. We have to quiet ourselves to listen. Noted, Megan. We have to quiet ourselves to listen. And that's why sometimes it's good to quiet yourself. Sometimes it's good to take a social media break, to quiet the thoughts of others too. Sometimes that's what you need. You just all over the place. You need you a detox. I know when my son needs a detox, when he's overstimulated. He's been watching too many YouTube shorts, too much doom scrolling, too many colors, too many different ideas. It's overly loaded. I know. Just take a break. he jittery, snappy, he got an attitude. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. You are overstimulated. Your little system is overstimulated right now. You don't know it. Of course, you're not gonna admit it. But yeah. So I know if I'm overstimulated at times, I know that you're overstimulated, little one. That's the type of holistic mothering I'm talking about, you know? Because it's like me knowing what I feel and then translating that too to my child. So I know if I needed to do a banishing bath, I felt the need to do a little herb bath. I was so happy because I had an herb bath in my son's bathroom in the bottle. And he got out the shower. He was like, I took your little bath. I took your little bath. I was like, good. I didn't have to tell you. But I was happy he did. That was already communicated. But yeah, holistic mothering, yes. The way you feel, the way we go through different moods, our babies do too. The way we need to slow down and do a meditation. I have him sit down with me and do a meditation. And yeah, it's hard at first. It's hard at first. You know, of course, lady, I'll talk about it. It's hard at first, especially to get them to calm down and to regulate their nervous systems. But as the matriarch and the head of the household, because the woman is the head of the household, happy love day. I do, Indigo. Send me a DM. We have to always be looking at things from a holistic viewpoint. And the moods of the house have a lot to do with the environment. That's why I will do a deep house cleanse, open the windows, sweep. You know what I'm saying? I did one the other day, wipe the walls down. I used some of my banishing spray, my banishing floor wash. I cleaned all of the wet areas with the banishing, sprayed the rosemary in the air. So that uncrossing spray you have, lady. And it was a reset in the house. I also know, I also know about like, because my son go to school and he eating school lunch. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when he come home, I told you about that spray. Yeah. We need to talk anyway. When he come home, I'm like, I gotta make sure that he's getting what he needs on a holistic level again, because I know the way I need my resets. My gut is sensitive, so I keep kombuchas in here, you know, like my gut. And I'm real big on gut health at this point, because after the age of 30, like everything you eat just. So I'm sitting there drinking lemon water. So it's like just being able to, and even at times when I find my son is more agitated or more, I just pay attention to his moods. Food affects moods, but environment affects moods. And then I have to check myself too, right? I have to be like, was I as gentle as I could have been? Am I being harsh to my inner child? Which is making me maybe, and especially with boys, we have to be careful with this. We give them an adult identity very quickly. Young Black boys, we give them an adult identity very quickly. We expect them to have the faculties because of how they grow, how they move, their energy, right? But they are still children. They are still, and my son is at an age now where he's like trying to act tough. He building his identity, but he's still a baby. Okay? I'm a fermenting queen at this age. And it just gets better and better. You know, I'm like, my gut, I'm like, the more I heal it, it helps me to think better, helps me to slim down. The mushroom coffee has been working wonders, honestly. I'm actively creating a goddess nurture system for myself. I love that. A goddess nurture system. I definitely apologize to my son when I'm snappy. Yeah, I do too. That's another thing too, is being accountable, you know, as a mother. Like, I'm accountable when I know that I've been snappy, when I know I'm not at my best, or when I know I'm overstimulated. And I have to say, listen, I'm overstimulated right now. I cannot deal with this right now. Or I see something that overstimulates me. That room is so dirty. I'm like, look, start cleaning this room. I'm gonna come back in 5 minutes, because right now, if I come in here, I'm gonna go off. Okay? I feel off when I don't have enough natural. Me too. That's why I keep kombucha in the house. I will feel off, bloated, grumpy. A lot of people too are walking around grumpy because their gut is not healthy. Okay? They don't even know when their last bowel movement was. And that gut health is also tied to that, but vaginal health too. Sometimes when you're dealing with the dryness, the odors, the recurrent BV, it's tied to diet. It's tied to the gut health. I haven't gotten to okra water yet. I want to get into it really bad, but I haven't got there yet. I'm saying, I'm like, I should be doing. Now I will make me an okra stew with the lima beans and the stewed tomatoes, coconut milk, all of that. But the okra water, I haven't got there yet. I hear great things. I've heard, yeah, people mix it with the teas as well. And I know that it does great things for the gut and the vaginal health as well. I've been procrastinating too. I'm gonna do it eventually, but I love okra water with lime. That sounds like that could be okay. That sounds like I could do it, but I know I'm very big on texture, and I know that it's gonna be kind of slimy, and that's the part. Like, I'm a big texture person, so that would be, my whole thing. But what I love all around is how seriously the girlies are really taking their health all together. I love when I go outside and I see women walking, the slimy going down my throat. That's what I'm saying. That's the part I didn't want to say. I'm gonna come back to what I'm saying, but I didn't want to say that. The slime going down my throat does remind me of things, okay? Texture was my issue too, but my body must need it because I have no issues. Diluted won't be as slimy. The benefits. Thank you, Tula. Please double tap the live, yes. But I love when I go out and I'm seeing even the older women who are walking, right? Who are active, who are eating their big salads, who are, I see y'all eating sardines too. I need to get into those too, especially again, being over the age of 30. The omega fatty acids and all of the brain foods, just all of that consciousness. I'm so grateful for it with women, because a holistic sense of living can go into all facets of our life. Our diet, even when we go out, our mothering, our parenting, right? Just seeing the power that you have, and the power, seeing the spiritual power that you have, and then backing it up with the tangible things, right? So it's like I think being a holistic mothering is like understanding the influence that you have in a household, first of all. Is that like my nervous system regulation, how I feel is literally going to dictate how the household feels. The energy I put in the food when I'm making it, right? Okay? Because I know when my grandmother cooked, it was oh my God, it was a certain love I could feel. Okay? I never had before Fishwife. I heard Fishwife is the brand. Lady talks about Fishwife a lot too. Okay, if y'all want to know about sardines, go around there to Lady. She's into the sardines. I want to get my palate up. Okay, be grown up with them sardines too. I cannot do the sardines. I've tried. I enjoy it. Chose have to give up on sardines. I used to eat sardines when I was younger. My aunt and my grandmother used to love sardines. They would eat theirs with hot sauce. You need 2 kidneys to put. Oh Lord. And you know that's because they done put it on TikTok and now people have identified it as a brain food. So the demand is up. So they like, oh yeah, let's go ahead and make it expensive. I'm going to get my coin up and get me some Fishwife though. I am. So the holistic diets, the holistic mothering, the holistic diet, the power behind that being in, okay, I see that what I put into my body affects the way I think, affects my health, affects my womb, affects my mood, right? So taking a powerful stance with that. And yes, Indigo, holistic mothering, knowing the influence and the power really that you do have over the household and the little nervous systems of the children. And, I thought that it was something magical that I was doing. That I'm like, damn, he's starting to listen more. Damn, he's more disciplined. He's more regulated. No, I got more regulated. I got more disciplined. And I didn't even have to do anything because subconsciously, he's mimicking my discipline. The habits and patterns that we pick up from our parents, we pick them up. Some that we are conscious of, some that we're not. But that's the thing, like as a parent, we're always setting a tone and setting up patterns for our children. So our habits and our discipline. And that's why I be like, women, if you love your day, if you love your routine on your own and you're childless, think very carefully and critically about having a child. Because your routine and what you like to do, all of that is going to be uprooted and be based around you if you want to be a good and effective mother. Some mothers don't give a fuck. They ain't changing their routine. They damn near take they go out to the club. They don't care. They leave the children home. They don't care. But being an effective and good mother who guides, yes, you have to shift your routine, your schedule, all of that around your child or children. I'm just saying, so think about this thing critically. If you're childless. Nonetheless, and then a holistic stance, like I said, even with going out. Even when I go out, like having my head wrapped, what I wear, the charms that I wear, certain oils I put on. Okay, for protection and for some temptress energy too. Okay? Because baby, I'm gonna let you know, being who I am, I ain't going out if I ain't dripping in the bayou, honey. Okay? I ain't even gonna waste nobody's time. Oh, we getting drinks bought. Okay? We doing what we do, but we also gonna be protected in that energy as well. Because not only do we have predatory men, we have hating women too. Okay? Some women can't stand to see other women shining, and I don't have time for the evil eye and all that, baby, because you didn't self-actualize, and you're not self-possessed like I am. Sorry. I have one kid with a co-parent, and Village is still alive, still restricted. Even who I eat with. All of that. We have power over all of that. Ow, yes. So it's like, even when you go out, dictating the kind of experience you're going to have, being holistic about it. And what I like to do, something I like to do in a club to really see how the energy is, And sometimes I'll be in a club and I'll imagine the music is not on, right? Just looking at the waves of the energy. Have you ever looked at a video of a club or a video in a nightclub and turned the sound off and just looked at the energy, the waves, how people are moving, the conversations that are going on? That shit will trip you out. And you so like, if you really want to start learning your power, like, go out in the world and start playing with it. Go out in the world and start seeing how many people be spilling their energy and they cheat anyway. I'm sorry, this is dark femme goddess. Most people not protected. Most people got their energy out in the open. You can feel it. But especially if it's a place like a nightclub, oh, I'm having a fun time. I'm having a fun time reading the energy in the room. Just leaking everywhere, especially the men. Especially them. Then you got some of them that can see you. They see what you're doing. They come over. They see you because they watch your energy too. It is highly unlikely you will have two seers in the same place at one time. But there was another seer in my workplace. He ended up getting fired because where I was a corrupt place. But I told him before he left, I said, it is highly unlikely it's two of us in the same place at one time. This is rare. This is sacred. However, like, usually the environment can't take two of us. They only have one of us, and they'll try to put one of us under spiritual attack. Some of y'all are that person in your workplace. They try to put you under spiritual attack. They try to do undermining shit. Okay? Because they usually cannot have two seers in one place at one time. But yeah, if you in a club and there's another seer, y'all will connect automatically. Y'all will connect. Y'all might just even start laughing together. Spiritual attack or spiritual guard dog. But yeah, I'll be like, shit, I'm using my gifts. Don't play no games, baby. We using our gifts over here. Most definitely. Because you got it. I think I know what makes me, I think, more relatable or different is that we talk about the spirituality, but we talk about it in practical ways, right? People think the spiritual gifts are just for the altar or just for in the church or just for, no. They with me everywhere I go. Even in the club. Just like, that's why I didn't like that hypocrite I told you I was working with, the pastor's wife. She worked my nerves. The one who saw my beauty, my wisdom, and then my power. Talk about, oh, I can't go in there because it's a bar. As a pastor's wife, I can't go in there. That's a place I can't go. You're supposed to be anointed from head to toe. If you are who you say you are, you can go anywhere. How are you supposed to be she who can slay demons if you scared to go up in a bar? You see what I'm saying? So you sitting up on this high horse and this ego talking about where you can't go. Girl, please. And if we're going to talk about Christ and those stories told, he was running with the hookers and the robbers, okay? He was running with all of the misfits. That's who he used to run with, okay? Because her power is still tied to me. Yes, she is. You already know. I do it at restaurants. I notice how they are empty when I get there and they fill up around me. Always high frequency. That happens all the time. Every time I go somewhere, it continues to get filled. Then people start coming in. I look behind and there's a line. Okay? I look behind and then there's a line. You're not the only one. So yeah, I'm like, don't tell me you this holier than thou person and that you can't walk through the depths of fire. Will your God forsake you, sweetheart? You scared? But as I always say, if you scared, go to church. You right where you need to be at. So like, yeah, for you to understand your power for real, That's why I be like, oh yeah, we can go spell for spell. We can go, the ones who want to hop, oh, I'm this. I'm be like, let's go outside with it. In the underworld, if you will, with it. It ain't no little, oh, you know what I'm saying? We out here and I'm gonna no, no, no. I'm talking about being outside at the nightclub, whatever is going on, like, you know, real life. That's why I love that movie Practical Magic. But they were just sisters and just talking about real life shit going on. And how you should be using your magic in every situation. That's what I'm going to encourage. To use your magic in every situation. If you are a goddess, you should be out here. You should be protected, but you should be blessing people. When I go out and I speak, I got a post office I go to. A young woman who was there who was under spiritual attack. When I saw her a couple weeks ago, I knew she was under spiritual attack. Matter of fact, it was the day that I went and I was sending my books out. Remember that Monday? That was about 3 Mondays ago. I was sending my first wave of books out. And I went there. And even when I went there before, she was telling me about things that was happening. She was under spiritual attack. And so I told her, I said, I knew she was Christian. I said, so if you want to listen to me, I suggest lighting up 3 tea light candles and saying Psalm 23 every day before you come in here. Okay, just to arm yourself spiritually. She was like, I was just thinking about, I was staying prayed. I was thinking about what I'm going to do. We talked about some other things. So I planted that seed in her. I saw her yesterday. I saw her a couple of times, but I saw her yesterday. Her glow is back. She's glowing. She told me how she has sent a letter to HR. She has just different steps that she took to really arm herself with what she needed to get her glow back. She's a mother of 3. She wanted to quit. I'm like, don't let them take your income. But baby, that's part of my job. If I'm a goddess out here, I'm supposed to be blessing people too. That's part of what you're supposed to be doing. Thank you, Indigo. That's what you're supposed to be doing too. You're supposed to be leaving places healed or corrected or resurrected. Okay? I've let go of the part of my assignment of going into toxic workplaces and exposing and resurrecting them, because that has been a part of my path. That was a part of my path for a long time. I would always go into corrupt workplaces, and then me being there would expose shit. People would start saying things. People would start quitting, and the organization would fall, right? And I'm like, this is great, but I'm tired of walking into burning buildings now. Okay, I'm done with that part. And when you look holistically, we talk about holistic. When you look holistically at your life and situations, you see who you are, who you've been called to be. Yes, we do. We do, Megan. We often resonate with the things that I'm saying, and you know how you're able to be like, oh yeah, and then turn it up a notch too. I'll be like, so yeah. So it's like, when I see that, when I notice these things and I say, okay, it's the holistic view of it all. And just being aware as my role as a goddess. Sometimes my role includes arming a woman with some protection sometimes it isn't so nice and light. Sometimes it isn't a, oh, thank you for that prayer, have a good day. Sometimes it's something deeper. Okay. Sometimes it involves healing you with the blood of your violator. Okay. Sometimes that's what it involves. So it's like, it goes deep. That's the conversation for the peer conversation. Yes, it is. And that's why, yes, I'm like, I do spiritual work, but my prerequisite to that is like the women that I do consultations with. And then at that point, it's like then we go into the inner temple and do the inner temple workings, right? This is the temple, but when we go in the inner temple and do those workings, when we get into the dark flame candles, right? The dark mother flame candles. And let me tell y'all about that dark mother flame candle. She does not fuck around. Black Madonna doesn't fuck around either. The Black Madonna candle doesn't fuck around. She's on purity. She's very much clearing up ancestral trauma, very much reclaiming your womb, very much, I want to heal from my repressed emotions, right? And we love that. But this dark mother flame candle right here that I have, this is about uncrossing. This is about writing the names down of those that violated you to completely call your power back. This is this is unapologetic. This is the dark mother flame, the turn up, the shadow integrated, okay? So some women, it's like, okay, yeah, it's more light. Other women need the dark mother flame. You in situations where people have been speaking about you. You in situations where your dreams are being stalked. You in situations where you don't feel powerful. You in situations where you feeling like your magic ain't hitting. It's not working right. Your skin is breaking out. Certain things happening. That's what the dark mother flame is for. Just to clear that out. Just in case, just to clear it out. This is a pew pew first, ass later. I thought I heard something. I thought you said something, and I lit it up. I thought. Oh, you didn't? Okay, cool. Cool. Well, then you don't gotta worry about it. But just in case, I got that thing on me. This is very much your ancestor with the cigarettes and the pew pew in the purse. I got that thing on me. And let me just say, I burned mine and it burned clear. Happy, beautiful, great. I mean, I already know. I'm not trying to play. I already know how my spirits get down, though, anyway. When it comes to certain shit. They're assassins. Silent. But yeah, this is on the site. So, listen. This is surface level inner temple workings. Like when I say priestess is light and dark, baby, just as light and as pure and as beautiful, as much divine, beautiful energy you see here. I am just as familiar with the underworld. I am just as comfortable with them. And that's why I'm like, certain demons, they don't scare me, because I'm like, I know you. You've already worked for me before. Okay, I've already summoned you, real life, because I'm not gonna be scared of you. You can work for me. But that's why I be like, look, so, somebody asked me like the difference between a priestess. It's like, baby, it's initiation too, and as someone who a real spiritually gifted person, I would never sit online and tell someone, this is the way you summon this. This is the way you summon that. You should summon this. No, that is irresponsible. I was an intercessor in church. Well, and don't get it twisted. The spirit is there. At churches, the spirit is there. Live visibility restricted. I bet it is. I didn't even read what they said. They said something about some products. I bet it is. Because like I said, when we get really deep into women's mysteries, after I talked about and showed this dark mother flame candle, y'all think that this is like, this energy is very real, and this energy is very threatening to the status quo. My ancestors helped me with everything, but I'm disabled ATM. I'm ready to get. What you mean by that, Auntie Bree? I'm ready to. You mean your ATM be disabled? We talking about your funds? I'm ready to get that Black Madonna oil. So excited. Yes. And she blowing up. Let me show you her. This the Black at the moment. Oh, okay. Well, you know, those are Abatala's children. Look up Abatala. They say those who have any kind of disability are Abatala's children. And Abatala is equivalent to the over hierarchy, like in Catholic or Christianity, it'll be Jesus. But Abatala with the Orisha, he is like the father of Orisha. And he oversees anyone who has any type of disability, or you should really look up Abatala. Like, yes. So this is the Black Madonna here. This is brewing. Okay. She is an ancestral blend. She is, and just to show you the variation, like, while this is the ancestral, the shadow work, this is reclamation. This is Bayou honey. Okay, you see they're much different. This one has the bay leaves, very more clear. This one is very much a seduction blend, a self-seduction blend, okay? She's swimming. So we have these here, and then I bottle them up when you order them. And then here's the bombshell blend right here. Thank you, Indigo. This is the bombshell blend. This is for the goddess embodiments. But this is, you see? So this is when you first start in your journey. This is Black Madonna, that energy, ancestral veneration, womb reawakening. Then this is when you embodying it. Okay, see how she's nice and embodied, firm. This young, this is, you know, young ho, old ho. You know what I'm saying? Young, seasoned, okay? But they still, you sent me the bombshell survey the book. It smells amazing. So that's actually Honey by You. That's actually, the spray I sent you, Megan, is more of a derivative of the Honey by You. Matter of fact, was it red? It might have been a bombshell, girl. I don't know. It's an attraction blend. Thank you, Indigo. It's an attraction blend, girl. It's red. Oh, yeah, then it's bombshell. A surprise! I should have told you was getting that bombshell. Have you started spraying it yet? Sometimes I like to hit the baddies with a little surprise. $309 to $312. Okay, he should be here now. My food will be here soon. Yeah. Got me a little spinach pizza. Yeah, girl. So that bombshell, yeah, like I said, Black Madonna is very much the reclamation, the awakening, the initiation. Okay. Ooh, waist beads, yes. Please anoint your waist beads with the oil. The Black Mother candle, you can get it at serenalux.com, babe. It is on my site. If you go to my profile, the link is there in my bio. Serena Lux. That's my boutique. So I have 4 in stock right now. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and get one. It's that girl. It's that girl. Let me go get my pizza real quick. Hold on. Yes, thank you. You won't be disappointed. If you were here earlier, one of my other ladies got on here. She was talking about her burning the Oshun candle. Now that's my Oshun candle burning back there. So she was talking about burning the Oshun candle and the results that she had as a result. The Oshun is definitely reclamation. But very much sweetening and indulgence. So, but yeah, that Black Mother Flame candle, I just burned one myself not too long ago because anything that I put out to y'all, I use it, you know, like I said, my offerings are an extension of the work that I do. That's how I even started offering the Black Madonna candle. When I created that candle, when I created the oil and I used it, and the way it just connected me to the feminine wise counsel of my bloodline and how the messages became so clear. I was like, oh, this is an initiation. This is an awakening. This was years ago. This was years ago that this happened. A lot of it happened when I was living in North Carolina, because that's where my blood and bones are. So I was there, and that's when I felt the power of the Black Madonna candle. And then at that point, once I got back here in the DMV, I was more in my reclamation phase. Always worked with Oshun, but really started to feel that more. And reclaiming. And then was the embodiment, the bombshell. And the bombshell is inspired by Pombagira. Pombagira is part of the Santeria, Ifa, and ATR, if you will. Some people like to refer to her as the wife of Ishu or wife of Elegua, but it's like, that to me is inaccurate because nothing she does is for the male gaze. Like Pombagira is a very sovereign woman, sovereign goddess who is unapologetic. She is definitely an ally to survivors of domestic abuse or SA. She helps you to kind of rise from the ashes after the fire, after you have to burn everything down. And so that is why she is the bombshell embodiment. She is the mother who cried through all of her trauma that was suppressed, the warrior goddess who resurrected and did what she needed to, and the sensual goddess who embodies it all. So, most definitely. Pombagira. But when you go to Bombshell, if you look at the Bombshell items on my site, you'll see mention of Pombagira there. And I will tell you, it's not a lot of information about her. She's very much part of the mysteries. Male scholars have tried to talk about her. Sometimes you will see her depicted as a Caucasian woman, but she is from ATRs, the African traditional religions, just period. So, but listen, I will tell you, one thing I will give to the witches, the witches of other races I just said, the non-black witches, is they be on their shit when it comes to the witchcraft, the craft, when it comes to the spells, and they be knowing the goddesses too. So it's not a unique thing to me that they would try to claim her. They would want to claim Pamba because they know not a lot of us know about her. But like, they got some fierce goddesses too. Hecate, you know, Hecate will get it in. Like, Hecate kind of remind me of Oya energy, which is like very much. And then they have like Aphrodite or Aphrodite, which is like Venus today. We got Quan Wen, which is more so the Asian. She's the goddess of compassion. I didn't see her in the deck. I have it earlier. Yeah, like I said, Parmigiera is she's hidden. But like Lilith, she's hidden because a lot of her medicine does not deal with the male gaze. It's about feminine reclamation and sovereignty. And she, like I said, is an ally to survivors. So a lot of times that kind of energy, that kind of vibration, yeah. Even in woke spiritual circles, especially if they've been colonized at all, they're going to be forgotten. That's what that is. But yeah, like I said, that's why through my own life I was able to develop the goddess embodiment system, and I know it goes through the initiation, the reclamation, and then the embodiment. And sometimes the awakening or initiation also includes some dark mother flame. Isn't welcome. So I know how it works for me. I'll be like, listen, for the women that's ready, for the women who are like, yeah, that's all I can say is for the women who are ready. It's one of those things where, like, if you're ready, you'll know. And if you're not, you'll come back when you feel like it's time. That's why I understand. Sometimes I have sessions or sometimes I meet with women and I'll be like, these are the spiritual things that you need, right? Boom, 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 boom. Now they can tell me that that's what they're going to do, and sometimes they won't do it. Not because, and I never hold it against them. I never blow their phone up or anything. It's like, listen, I understand people have to go at their own pace. They have to go with their own pace, and they have to do it when they're ready. Is Yemega a light goddess? She's both. Both light and dark. That's the water, however you want to carry it. Both nurturing and drowning. Okay? Makes it hard to talk to other women because they want me to center a man in their process. Yeah, most of them do. Most of them do. That's how a lot of women connect. off what a man is doing or not doing. Usually what a man isn't doing. But I'm like, yeah, so many other things to connect about. So even in this conversation, we bring up men very minimally. We speak about them to make references, but we don't have long-term and deep dialogue about men. No, that's one of the spells that you have to remove yourself from, because they're not these multifaceted creatures that they pretend to be. We are the multifaceted creatures. Yeah. Don't carry the burden of connection. Connect with yourself. When you connect with yourself, everything outside of you just reacts to that. That's what it's about. I have enjoyed you all very much during this last, I'm almost been on here, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Nonetheless, I think we have some very good energy to go into the weekend with. So, they spell her name wrong, but that's okay. Oh my goodness. Well, welcome, Indigo. I'm glad. I usually go live on Sundays. We really open the temple up. But today I was like, I need to open up the temple. Anyway. So thank you for coming. If I go live on Sunday, I'll put it on my story. Then I'm going live. And we've been talking a lot about the book Journey into Layla. So just go to the site and I'm going live. And we've been talking a lot about the book Journey into Layla. So just go to the site. Honestly, this book ties into the work that I do. The things that all tie into the work. Even the blog, just reading that. Just, to connect yourself with the dark femme goddess. Okay? So any of y'all that want to know more about the dark femme goddess, connect with me. Thank you, Megan, for always being a beautiful contributor as well. Sunday. We'll be back. We'll connect. Enjoy your spray, Megan. I love y'all. Finish my lunch. Do some beautiful things. Peace and blessings.